Coach knows best, so now it's Krush's turn to prove her value.
And of course, Coach brought up the fact that Glory Glitter was able to knock off Xena Phoenix. It looks like Coach is going to join us here at the desk.
Uh-oh, Coach Campanelli coming here. Didn't anticipate this, Coach.
Well, I decided it was high time for me to come and give you a tip or two, you know what I mean? So you're welcome.
And her opponent from Heaven, North Carolina, Lil J-Boogie.
Well, I'm also here to watch my team, but let's see what J-Boogie has to bring to the ring.
This is the opportunity for Krush to prove herself and her value to you, Coach.
Absolutely. They're always, top tier is always proving their value to me. But this is an unprecedented assessment, if you will.
All the way from Mebane, North Carolina, it's Lil J-Boogie, set to square off against the former Trios champion, Kandi Krush, the heavy hitter of top tier. Referee JC signaling over to our timekeeper to ring the bell in this, our opening contest of WOW Women of Wrestling.
J-Boogie back right up into the corner. Krush, I thought was gonna hit her.
You know, it's a mental game as much as it is a physical one, Davey. And that's what I always say.
Why do you call me Davey? It's David McLean. You call me...
Listen, McLean, I'm trying to watch the match. Oh, Boogie's got Krush cornered over there.
A little battle of power there.
Oh, there's a little mental game for Krush.
Interesting, interesting. Well, I wasn't playing around when I picked this competitor.
Lil J-Boogie showing some confidence, but Krush not at all amused. Boot to the midsection, goes for a kick. Lil J-Boogie with the schoolgirl roll-up.
She's got the ropes.
That's right, Coach. Waist lock from Lil J-Boogie, and now side headlock applied from Lil J-Boogie.
Nice shoulder block.
And I've noticed that the confidence has continued to build as she has been tagging up with Gabriela Cruz and befriending such a great superhero from Brazil now as Krush.
You know, a lot of people recognize Krush for her boxing abilities, staying grounded and her heavy hits, but I think a lot of people underestimate her agility as well.
You bring up a very fair point there, Coach. And you yourself, by the way, hey, take a look at this. Head scissors sends Krush all the way into the corner, and Lil J-Boogie charged up with a splash. Kandi Krush rolling to the outside of the ring, and that's buying herself some time. Coach, your assessment.
She wants a timeout.
Yes, she does. You know, timeouts are in most games.
Well, not in wrestling.
How does this play into your assessment, though?
Well, it looks like she's doing more than just taking a timeout. Look, she's in the ring waiting for Boogie. What's Boogie up to?
Boogie went outside to clear the air with her, and now she's gonna do a snapmare right in the center of the ring against Krush, hitting the ropes. Lil J-Boogie
with the Rough Rider. Could it be enough to put away Krush? And she kicks out at 2.
Now, typically, Krush would be tagging Coach here or Glitter to get in when in trouble. But not tonight in this single competition.
She's got a fair for herself, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, Lil J-Boogie.
She went up in the wrong corner because Glitter's there, and Glitter's pulling her off.
Oh, Glory Glitter just got sent face first down to the arena floor. Lil J-Boogie.
Yeah,
you notice how she favored that?
Yeah, I did, Nigel, twisting that ankle a little.
Gotta be careful there. Does Lil J-Boogie now as Kandi Krush back in the ring. What an elbow drop.
Corkscrew elbow.
Nicely done, and she's pointing at you, Coach.
She is.
Did you teach her that?
Well, my team is very accustomed to always keeping my words in their mind.
How about your training? Did you teach her that, the corkscrew off the third rope?
Of course, I've taught them everything I know, but not, well, I've taught them everything they know, not everything I know, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm glad you caught yourself.
I'm just testing you, David.
If I'm awake?
Yes, absolutely. You always gotta keep a sharp mind around me.
Krush with the boot underneath the jaw of Lil J-Boogie. Krush mocking Lil J-Boogie just seconds ago and continues to hammer away at Boogie. Head first, right into that top turnbuckle.
You know, like I said, still a mental game. If you take that many hits to the head, are you able to continue?
True, but I think so. Oh! Now that jarred the back.
Oh.
There's a push right into the jaw. Top tier.
Top tier.
And Krush has somewhat of a smile on her face. Not anymore, though, after that back elbow from Lil J-Boogie, but Krush fires back with a forearm shot.
It didn't have the power. Look at that move.
Lil J-Boogie with the corkscrew. She calls that the surround sound on Kandi Krush. But
Using a little of that dance moves that she has on the dance floor to pull that off.
Well, Krush is still in the fight, and
that running
looks
knee
like
lift, the glass jaw
she
from
might just
Kandi
have a glass
Krush.
jaw.
My goodness. Krush.
Oh.
Kick right into the gut.
You know, say what you will about Kandi Krush, but she's a confident one.
Well, Krush could have possibly won the match with that glass jaw, Coach. What do you assess on that now? She's using the ropes on J-Boogie.
Well, I think it's never a bad idea to use everything to your advantage.
I have a question, Coach.
Yeah.
What's more important, confidence or athletic skill?
Both.
Equally.
Equally important. Everything is important. Oh, until it gets you, until it bites you in the gut, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you were going to say. Thank you for hesitating.
Scraping the boots right into the face. Not meant to be a 3 count, David, but just insulting Lil J-Boogie. And that is one of the things about Top Tier and Kandi Krush, the head games. You brought it up. She's a former athlete outside, a professional wrestler, a boxer. And now she knows how to get into the back of someone's head. Crucifix pin attempt here. Lil J-Boogie looking for the sunset flip. Krush goes for the elbow, but misses. And of course, coming up in our main event, another important matchup, Tormenta battling Paola, the Colombian GOAT, in our main event as J-Boogie tries to fight her way back in this matchup.
Colombia versus Mexico coming up.
There she is.
A miss there, and J-Boogie connects.
Couple headshots, but Krush is not unaccustomed to some headshots, being a professional boxer and wrestler.
And another rough rider from Lil J-Boogie.
As both competitors try to clear the cobwebs, we will return to in-ring action after this short break. Both Kandi Krush and Lil J-Boogie just getting to their knees as both are clearly physically spent.
Trading forearm shots, and Krush with a chop right across the chest of Lil J-Boogie.
J-Boogie coming at life here.
And J-Boogie, what a clothesline! Sending Krush down to the canvas.
Look at that drop kick, baby! She gets air for sure.
Krush gets pinned in this matchup or made to submit. That's not gonna be good. She would be then the weakest link. Isn't that right, Coach? Crossbody now. Referee JC says 1.
What happens when you find this weakest link?
You know, David, that remains to be seen, and is for me to know and you to find out.
And what about yourself being a weak link?
Oh, I'm not the weak link.
Well, Krush
hesitation,
insinuated
drop
that
kick.
for a second. Let's not skip that subject.
Well, I think maybe she took one too many hits to the head when she questions me, but if she wants to remain in Top Tier, she's gonna have to show me what she's got here, and she certainly...
You thought it was a little disrespectful when she called you out and said, what about you?
Yeah, I will say that for sure, but you know, I have to see
You're a bit
what...
worried here looking at Krush on the outside, and J-Boogie coming down, but gets one right in the middle. Oh, right on our announcer's table. J-Boogie being jammed in.
Krush is saying she's not the weakest link.
And she's showing off to you, Coach.
She's showing she's very strong, that's for sure.
Thank goodness Kandi Krush was a former boxer, because that was almost a knockout shot from Lil J-Boogie. Krush, though, doing what she can, trying to springboard off the ropes to the clothesline. Sits down Boogie.
This might be the end for
momentum off
Boogie.
that second rope was Krush.
Krush hustling our referee, JC, to hurry up with the count. She doesn't mind if it's a count-out victory or
to win
not.
by count
Do
out.
you, Matt? Does it
Still
matter
a
to you,
win.
Coach?
Still a win.
Gloria Glenner out there cheering Krush on.
If Boogie doesn't have the strength to get back in, then Krush certainly asserted her own strength. We'll see.
We're up
She's
to
at
8.
8. She gonna get back in?
Boogie using that bottom rope to pull herself back in this ring at the count of 8, and Kandi Krush couldn't be any more disappointed.
Absolutely. Well, you know, that's a blow to the ego, but we have to see how she recovers from this.
Did you hear Krush yelling at J-Boogie, saying you should have stayed down? Krush going for the heavy bag now. Little J-Boogie.
Holding on the ropes is Krush.
She held on. Here we go. She's going for lights out.
But
nope.
can she hit it? J-Boogie scouted it. Not gonna allow that to happen.
Not a suplex either.
Gonna
Nice
have to work
pop.
for it.
J-Boogie up on the shoulders of Krush. She's got her over. She couldn't hold her, Nigel. Couldn't hold her.
Had her arms wrapped up for that crucifix pin, and one might argue that if she would have been able to hold on to the arms, she might have been able to upset Kandi Krush in this all-important matchup.
Now, if Krush loses, is she automatically the weakest link?
I can't say for sure, but this certainly is an impressive matchup. I don't know who's gonna win. They're both pulling out all the stops here. Everything I've seen, almost, not everything from Krush, but
Little
some new things from Boogie.
Caught right in the midsection from Kandi Krush, the heavy hitter. Kandi Krush has Lil J-Boogie up on the top turnbuckle. Looks like she's going for a potential superplex, but J-Boogie able to fight Krush off.
Oh, good evasion.
Boogie able to roll through, but Kandi Krush with that ripcord color. The CTE from Kandi Krush, and this thing is over.
And smiles to Coach Campanelli's face.
This certainly has given me a lot to think about. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Well, thank you.